Hiya Blades, so pre-game for United away at Cardiff, Heckingbottom's second game in proper charge of United now. Thought last week was really positive, so hoping to build on the back of that, hopefully see that a little bit more intensity that we saw last week, and really build on a good performance and a good win. Nice to see 𝐍𝐶 continuing. I think he's probably going to make that #1 shirt his own, if he hasn't done already. The only change from last week, of course, being that Brewster is out injured and Billy Sharp comes in from the start. So into the first half, and I actually thought we played pretty well. We've created numerous chances. You know, Billy's missed the header. It was probably a more difficult chance than I'm giving him credit for, but I thought he should do better. He's then put through one-on-one, and he misses. That one was a sitter, and he definitely should have done better. You know, we had a good chance for Bogle, a good chance from a 𝐍𝐸. So going forwards, I thought we were creating. I think there's a lot of positivity there about what we can do, especially in this second half, to try and get back into this game, because of course we are going in 1-0 down. It was always a fear going to Cardiff that we can't handle the high ball into the box. We've struggled, been bullied a lot this season. And you know, with Heckingbottom coming in, you think, okay, is that his attitude? Are we still going to be able to get bullied? And I think we have a little bit. Every ball into the box, every long throw, every corner, we've really struggled to handle their threats. There was a couple that caused chaos at first, but they couldn't connect. Then 𝐍𝐶 has made one absolutely fantastic save, just a reaction. It was brilliant. And you thought, okay, maybe we've ridden out the storm. And then just from a little bit of a nothing deep free kick, knock it to the back post, head it down. A lovely chip through into the box. And why their lads got so much time in the box, I don't know. Is he offside? We were too busy appealing to try and stop him scoring. But really sloppy way to concede and go behind. Immediately from the kick-off, they then have another chance where they just walk through us. And so at that point, I was getting worried. I thought, you know, we've seen so much this season that we've got no fight in us once we're 1-0 down. But I don't think that second half, of that first half, really showed that. I think once we were 1-0 down, we were still fighting. We created another chance at the end there for Bogle. And so I'm feeling relatively positive. I do think we can turn this around. I think there's goals in this game for United. I think we can break them down. I think we can create. And I really want to see if there is a change in mentality, because 1-0 down this season has been a real problem for us. We've gone into a shell. We've not created. It's almost as if we've lost all belief. So it's going to be a really big half for Heckingbottom to show us how he's going to change this club, whether or not it is more of the same from Slav's time here, or whether or not we're something different. I'm hoping that we can come back from this. I think we can still create. I think there are goals there. Up the Blades. Let's do this.
So after finishing the first half quite strongly, I felt, start of the second half, it was actually Cardiff who had more of the ball and put more pressure on us. And I actually felt that Egan in particular kind of struggled with their attack. But ultimately, that was all undone on 52 minutes with the red card. That through ball to Sharp, not the referee really, not much of a decision to make. Sharp scythed down, last man, and he was off. The resultant free kick came to nothing, sadly. And so far this season, 𝐍𝐶, 𝐻𝐿, Norwood, all taking free kicks for us. And still yet to find our free kick specialist, sadly. On 62 minutes, we finally we made use of our man advantage. They say never fall in love with a lone player. Oh, my word, this guy. Morgan Gibbs-White getting the ball on the left-hand side, cuts in to the right, outside the box, calls a lovely effort into the far right side of the goal. Keeper has no chance. But I'm afraid any Blades fans who thinks we're going to sign Gibbs-White, I'm sorry to tell you that we're not. Won't be able to afford his wages, even if Wolves wanted to let him go. He's clearly too good for this league. He'll probably go to if anything, a lower half Premier League side, or maybe one of the clubs that gets promoted this year will sign him. Even if we're one of those clubs, again, I'm not sure we ought to match his wages, and we spent a lot of money in the last couple of years, so sadly, I think enjoy him while we can, Blades. 𝐍𝐶. We know he's probably one of the best technically gifted players at the club, the best football brain at the club, but sadly he's one of the worst at taking chances. Had that chance where he didn't really connect with the ball, and it trickled, and it was like slow motion, and it was just trickling towards goal. I thought it's going to creep in, and then the keeper gets it off the line. So close, 𝐍𝐶. On 62 minutes, Cardiff did their last roll of dice, put their last two remaining subs on. But I just felt like we weren't taking advantage of this extra man. We seemed so cautious their build-up play. Yes, it was good possession, but really, we should have been punishing this team. They were okay, but I think we made them look better than they were. It seemed to be yet another kind of mediocre championship team to me, and we could have really punished them. You know, the first half aside, we could have been 4-1 up at half-time. Really, with that man advantage, we should have made them pay. Thankfully, we finally did on 72 minutes. Bash getting forward again. Puts a lovely ball through to Bogle. Bogle with a lovely little dink to 𝐍𝐶. 𝐍𝐶 on the right, crosses it to Sharp, and with a right-footed effort to right-hand side of goal, Billy Sharp scores goals. And he's now just 2 goals away from becoming the Championship all-time leading goal scorer. Can he do it? Of course he can, he's Billy Sharp. And just a couple of minutes later, final nail in the coffin, at least we thought at that point. 𝐍𝐶 running pretty much half length of the field. Lovely ball to 𝐍𝐶, hits it first time. Again, not a clean strike, couple of ricochets, and it starts trickling again, but this time it trickled over the line, and thankfully we got his goal. Well done, 𝐍𝐶. But ultimately, again, we kind of sat back then. We were up, we were 3-1 up, fair enough, but we really sat back. We could have punished them, and actually Cardiff started to find a lot more joy down our right-hand side. And ultimately that came to pass with the 89th minute, that ball in, good save from 𝐍𝐶, resultant corner though, they got their set-piece goal, and as we know, Cardiff are quite good at set-pieces this year. And at that point I'm thinking, oh my god, it's 3-2, and if we throw this away now, it's just criminal. With a man advantage, should have punished them. 4 minutes injury time, a long time, not as much as the 13 minutes from previous weeks, but I really felt like we had to hang on, to be honest, on those 4 minutes. But we had a chance right at the end again. From their long throw, came out, Hourahan and a couple of players threw in on goal. Hourahan kind of has a shot, maybe had a better option, but it was tipped over by the keeper, good save. And ultimately, we ran out to winners, thankfully. That was the end of the match, another win for the Blades, so where do we go from here?
Hi Blades, fantastic result today against Cardiff, brilliant comeback win, and I think I saw a stat today that said that it was the first time that we came from behind at half-time away from home since the end of 2019, so that is some stat for you, and fingers crossed that puts a stop to our, quite frankly, poor form away from home for quite some time now. I'm bringing the ratings for you today, so I will get started on that now. First up is 𝐍𝐶. I've given him an 8.5. I think he is brilliant. He has been brilliant since coming into the side, and he made some fantastic saves today, especially in that first half. Could have certainly been a couple of goals down, more than we really should have been. He's just been a revelation, really, hasn't he, since coming to the side. He steps up whenever it matters, especially we all know that we're very shaky when it comes to balls into the box and corners and stuff like that, but he's very authoritative and steps up when needed. He's made some excellent saves today and definitely his spot to lose now, so fingers crossed he keeps up his form. Jayden Bogle, I have given a 7.5. I think it was another good game from him today. He's certainly come into his own these last few games and is definitely looking exactly the sort of player that we hoped we'd see, especially in attack. He has that confidence, that flair, and especially the most important thing in that wing-back position, the delivery and the service to the attacking players. He's another one that I think is his spot to lose now. But isn't it great to have two players like Bogle and Bulldog fighting for that right wing-back spot at the minute? Two really good options. Ender Stevens, I've given a 6.5. He was all right. He wasn't mega noticeable, but he's certainly looking better and he's showing more for the ball in attack and is tracking back well in defence. His positioning is still a little bit off, but he's definitely looked better the last few games. So hopefully he continues to build and hopefully gets back to the player we used to know so well. John Egan, I have given a 7. He's looking much better, isn't he, as well? Back to his best, hopefully. He's looking very physical, very strong, very composed on the ball. The only reason why he wasn't higher is probably for his shaky moment in the first half where he did a silly back pass, really, and it went out for a corner. And knowing our not so good play at corners, it could have resulted in a goal. So, yeah, 7 from him. Hopefully he can continue building again. Ben Davies, I've also given a 7. I thought he had one of his best games today, actually. A lot of people have said he doesn't really bully attackers. Like, he's very nice footballer. You know, he plays well on the floor. He's very composed, calm, but he isn't that massive physical centre-half that you kind of expect to see. But he certainly looked much more like that today. He didn't give their strikers really a sniff, to be fair, but he was looking very good again, so I've given him a 7. 𝐍𝐸𝐵𝐍, I have given a 6.5. The only reason that he isn't a 7 with the other two is because he wasn't as noticeable. But I suppose, thinking about it, that is probably just because he's doing his job. He's doing 𝐍𝐸𝐵𝐍 that we've all seen for the last such a long time now. And he's looked great since he's come back in the side, and I'm sure he's contributed to the tightening of the defence. He's calm, composed again, always tracks back, always likes to get involved in the attack, as we all know. Hopefully he's here to stay now, because I've missed him. I have missed him in our defence, and you know, he just epitomises what Sheffield United's about. Ollie Norwood, I have given a 7. I think he was excellent today. Hopefully getting back to his best, because he certainly looked like the Ollie Norwood we know and love. Was really good on the ball, sprayed it out wide, was always looking for the forward pass, tracked back well. Yeah, just an all-round good display, really. Hourihane, I have also given a 7, same as Ollie Norwood. This run of games has definitely helped him, I think. Coming into a new side, a struggling side, really, not having that many starts or, you know, mainly sub-appearances. It was always going to be tricky for him, but he definitely looked better today and the last game. He's, again, another one that's been shown for the ball more, trying to play the more risky passes forward rather than sideways and backwards. He had a good shot in the first half that he just got under a little bit and it whisked over the bar and wide, but hopefully this is a sign of things to come from him as well. �𝐸𝐍𝐍, I have given the big 1-0, 10 out of 10 for me today, and definitely my man of the match. What a player he is, honestly. A screamer and 2 assists today. Best player in our team by a country mile, and I think one of the best in his position in the league, in my opinion. His goal was fantastic, and that little bit of quality that we've missed for a long time. And his 2 assists was great, especially the one for Billy Sharp. A lovely move altogether by the team, and he pulled it back for him to put away. Fantastic player, and he's just doing what we've missed for so long as a player in that Duffy role, who finds the pocket of space, that can attack, that can shoot, you know, and links all the play together, and he's looking fantastic. Hopefully we can keep him the rest of the season, and I know we don't really have any money to spend really at the minute, but you know, if there was one player that I'd want us to sign, it's a player like him, or him, because we need a player like him as a permanent signing, and it'd be great if we could maybe get him somehow. You never know, we'll see. But yeah, my man of the match today, �𝐸𝐍𝐶, 10 out of 10, fantastic. Billy Sharp, I have given it 8. Another great display by Billy, great hold-up play, great running the line, showing for the ball, taking a few shots. He missed a couple of gilt-edged chances in the first half, 2 chances, clear-cut chances that Billy Sharp normally always scores. So it's a bit of a shame about that. But another great display from him. His goal was really good, as I mentioned before. You know, a great team move set up by 𝐍𝐸𝐶, and a lovely finish from Billy, showing that passion, showing that desire, and linking up with 𝐍𝐸𝐶 really well, like we've seen so much over the last few years. 𝐸𝐸𝐍𝐶, I have also given it 8. Another good display from him. Similarly with Sharp, he missed a few very, very good chances, which is often a theme with 𝐍𝐸𝐶, unfortunately. But he got his goal in the end, that little bit of luck that he needed to put us clear. But another great display from him, showing a bit more confidence. Hopefully it will continue. I'm not going to rate the subs because they didn't really have much of a time, but a special mention to Ollie McBurney riling up them home fans. We do love to see it, don't we? Heckingbottom, I have given an 8 as well. I think he got the team spot on today. No point making changes if it works, and he got the setup right and everything. I mean, I, for one, I'm not going to hide from it. I wasn't exactly enthralled when he was announced as the new manager. I don't really know why. I guess we just kind of expected something more from this season and some more from Ivanovic when he was here. But he might not be what we wanted, but he's certainly what we needed for me. He's playing the way the players know and the system that they know, and he gets Sheffield United. And I think that's the important part, isn't it? So hopefully it'll continue. Hopefully we can keep going the same vein and the players can keep growing in confidence, because we certainly need it. So that's all from me, Blades, but what a fantastic result and a nice easy ratings for this week. All positive, all good scores, so it's been an okay one. It's been very good. So until next time, up the Blades.
Thanks, Evie. Thanks a lot. Okay, positives and negatives. Wow, what a game to go on for positives and negatives. You know, we typically, Sheffield United tend to play games like this in two phases. In one phase, we're forward thinking, we're attacking, we're pressing, we're robbing the ball, we're going for it, and we look like the capable side we always could be. And then we had to sit back and we could become under the cosh all the time, and then we give a goal away, an easy goal as well, which we really shouldn't be giving away. And then in the second half, when they went down to 10 men, which was again on the end of an attacking phase, we went for it and we got the 3 goals we deserved. And then later on, we sat back, and then suddenly Cardiff were back in the game and they get their goal back. And we always end up in the typical game like Barnsley, for example, very similar game. We end up sweating it right the way to the final whistle. Why? It's always us, isn't it? You know, real positives though were the fact that we started the game pressing. We started the game wanting the ball. Stevens was active for a change. Norwood looked capable, and played some fantastic balls. It was just a case of where Billy couldn't get the ball on target, and that's one negative. We've got to be clinical about these chances that we get pushed forward, because today it could have been 6-2. You know, if we'd have put our chances away. In the second half, you know, there were some positive flourishes. You know, Bogle down the right-hand side looking really capable and making interactions with Basham, who is the evergreen player that he always is and always was. And there was some good finishing in the second half at last, even though we managed to see one bounce off Dsy and get clawed off the line. Smithy's had a really good game. But the negative side always creeps in, doesn't it? We always tend to sort of lose confidence in ourselves. We were so unsure as soon as something goes wrong for us, as soon as Cardiff are attacking down the right-hand side, and we look so unsure. We just seemed really incapable of making that extra man count and making Cardiff look the poor side that they actually are. They've lost a lot of games at home this season, and this is one they deserve to lose at home, and we deserve to win. In the end, it's 3 points though. In the end, it's us further up the table. It's us making the challenge that we do deserve, and it's us positioning ourselves before Christmas in an area where we can actually think that we can probably scrape a chance of coming into the playoffs next year, which will be good. You know, let's have Sheffield United where they should be, up at the top end. Anyway, Pommpey here, up the Blades. A win's a win, and let's celebrate that.
Well then, Blades. Where do we go after a thrilling 3-2 victory in South Wales? Well, I'll tell you what, where we don't go, we're not going back to the old style of pedestrian football that we were playing under Slav. So I think we've got nothing to be anxious about when it comes to Paul Heckingbottom. I think we all thought, you know, is the world on fire a bit here because we've changed managers so early in the season. And again, I have my doubts about the board and what we're doing, and I think all of you better be doubtful as well about what they're doing. But it's 2 wins in 2 for Heckingbottom. It's 3 wins on the spin. I think, what is it now, 10 points out of 12, if I'm not mistaken, for United. So this is a team that's really, we've proven that we can get up off our knees and just move forward and block out the noise and get past what's been happening outside of the football pitch, and I think they should all be really proud of that. It's a club now that's playing with a lot of freedom. Morgan Gibbs-White especially. I'm not positive that Morgan Gibbs-White is going to stay in January. I think January is really a place that, or a time I should say, that's going to be a cause for concern. But if we're here to talk about where we're going from here, it's just time to move forward on the football pitch and block out all the noise. I think a few of us, we've all been sitting on a fence of should Slav have gone, should he have stayed? It's over, right? Just like we had to move on from Wilder, we've got to move on from Slav. This is the new era, the Heckingbottom, McCall, Leicester era, and we've got to be excited about it now. We've got to back the club, and we're playing that free-flowing, attacking football, and he's really given this club now, with the results we've got, something to build on. I think there's just that energy there. I can't quite put my finger on it, but there's just that energy there that's flowing through the club now. That again, just this bit of freedom, and they really seem to want it more than they wanted it under the Slav regime. And the championship's so tight as well that anything could happen. A playoff place is certainly well within the realm of possibility, but it's about momentum. This is a club now that thrives on momentum. Let's keep scoring goals. Let's not make changes. I think Fotheringham's got to stay in goal. We've got to keep our attacking options fresh, but we've got to play the hot hand as well. So really, where do we go from here? Onwards, upwards, over there? I don't know, but the Christmas period's coming. Let's put points on the board. Let's march up the table, and let's see where we are come that busy January period. Until next time, folks, it's been the Sheff United way. Up the Blades.